education is the most powerful thing a kid can have. You know, being educated on a topic is how any sort of change starts. My name is Samantha Smith. I live in Arroyo Grande, and I've lived on the Central Coast for 15 years now. Ever since I was really young, there's been a lack of people of color and those type of influences. So when the incident with George Floyd happened and I saw the protests in SLO, I felt like I need to get involved, you know. I think mostly within like people my age that I talk to, just the perspective of a person of color. I think I've broadened what they think we go through or what I go through, or like vocabulary to use, just a spectrum of my views. I think have kind of broadened their way of seeing things, I think, hopefully.
I would say yes.
I feel a sense of belonging mainly in the protesting community. It's a very like warm, welcoming, comforting environment, and you can click with anybody when you're there.
Yeah.
So the Children's March, the way it like originally started is there was a like talk after a protest, and then people were looking for like volunteers to do it, and I was really nervous, but I was like, I'll do it, and it was my first time organizing anything, and it took like 2 weeks to plan and everything, and the actual event went so well. It went better than I could have expected. It was great. It was focused around, you know, kids and teaching them about racial issues and the climate around that topic, you know. Education is the most powerful thing a kid can have. You know, being educated on a topic is how any sort of change starts. So they need that base like information to continue to grow and form their own opinions and like create change. The hardest part about living in like the Central Coast is like the lack of unique perspective and the same way of thinking, the same way of believing, or at least that's how people portray themselves. So it's difficult to be able to connect to different types of groups when you've never had that opportunity when you were little. So protesting was like my first opportunity to do that. Yeah. Well, this is kind of be like, but her, the H.E.R, her music is beautiful. It also, she supports, you know, BLM and, you know, all of that. And her music is just beautiful, and it's very, like, nice. I like it. So, her. I'm going to go with that answer. Yeah. I would have to think of, like, what do I want it to be about? Because finding the, like, topics were, like, we had to sat through, like, 6 meetings and be like, what do we want to teach these kids? You know, like, we have a very small window of time to get them to focus on this. But yeah, no, I definitely hope I can do another one, because that was really fun. Yeah. Like one of those like basketball pictures?
Yeah!